First, I want to walk you through the course part of the elevator. So when I was first creating the Karmic Studies elevator, I had this really super vivid dream that kind of ended up being the perfect metaphor for what I wanted to create. So in the dream, I'm staying at this gorgeous luxury retreat center, like somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. It's multiple floors tall and it's built into the side of a mountain. And it's in that architectural style where it just kind of feels like a natural extension of the environment. But anyway, it had these just gigantic, massive windows. So in the dream, I check in and I remember the lobby smelled amazing. And it was just filled with natural sunlight and just like lush green plants. And everyone who worked there was just like warm and supportive and kind. And I was given this room on the first floor, which again had like a giant, massive windows. And I could see like the trees, I could see the forest, I could see a tiny little bit of the valley below. And there was this like, oh, just amazing giant cloud-like bed, right? So I remember in the dream that I knew my purpose for being at this retreat center was to meditate, was to reflect, was like I was there specifically to do some sort of spiritual inner work. And that the purpose of the retreat center itself was literally to create a safe space for folks to do that work, to do that kind of spiritual work of self-inquiry. And the way the retreat center was set up was that each floor literally was there to support a different part of your journey as you kind of came home to yourself, right? So when I finished this first part of my stay, like in the dream, I just knew like, okay, the first chapter is done. Then I took the elevator up and I was like upgraded, like they do in a hotel, to a room on the next floor. And there I was supposed to start meditating, reflecting, kind of working on the next thing. So in the dream, the deeper inward I was able to go, the more I got upgraded and elevated to rooms on higher and higher floors. And each room had a different view of that valley below. Like as I was gaining perspective on myself, I was actually rewarded in my dream with a view that gave me more of the mountain valley and more like I was over the treetops. Then finally I could see most of the mountain valley. So at the end of the stay, I was given this penthouse suite, like at the top floor of this retreat center. And it had access to this amazing rooftop oasis, like an open air kind of rooftop garden. And it had these just breathtaking views of the rest of the mountain range. I could see the valley below. Like I felt like I could see for miles. Like I had crystal clear vision. And in the dream, I'm just energized. I'm awake. I feel so fearless. And when I woke up, I realized that that retreat center in my dreams was just like the perfect metaphor for what I was trying to create with the Karmic Studies elevator. Just like in my dream, just like you had booked a stay at a luxury retreat center, the Karmic Studies elevator starts in the welcome phase. It's where we get oriented to all the things we're going to need to know during our stay. There are resources about the logistics of the program, you'll learn the field protocol, and our norms for group integration sessions, and some basic information about how to read a birth chart. Then we'll proceed to the lobby. And just like at a check-in, you'll get oriented to the primary map you'll be working with during your stay, which is your human design chart. In the lobby phase, you'll excavate your relationship to the core building blocks of your chart, your open and closed centers, your type and strategy, your authority, your profile, and your incarnation cross. If you're in the epiphany phase, this might be a lot of new information. So your focus will be exploring and starting to get curious about your relationships to these energies and experimenting with shifting those relationships. If you're in the experimentation phase or in the embodiment phase, think of this lobby as a tune-up. Like you're making sure that all of your core foundational parts of your energy are operating at peak performance before you go any deeper into your design. The lobby is divided into 2 easy-to-navigate sections on Teachable, complete with instructions on where to start and how to engage with the content, which includes videos and PDF guides and reflection prompts, all designed to help you make meaning of and elevate your relationship to your primary placements. The rest of the floors 1 through 6, are all set up in the same way. We'll be zeroing in on a group of related placements, exploring how they relate to one another, and excavating our relationship to these energies using the field protocol, which includes shadow work and deconditioning. Floor 1, for example, focuses on your big 4, your conscious sun, your conscious earth, your unconscious sun, and your unconscious earth. Because everyone in the elevator has different placements, here's where the personalization comes in. As you move through the elevator, I'm creating and curating resources and reflective guides for you tailored to your placements. For example, one of the folks in the elevator right now is on this floor and she's working on unpacking her incarnation cross in the context of her big 4. So here's a PDF guide I created for her incarnation cross, and it's up and available for her to download. And there are also personalized shadow work prompts I wrote for her based on the fear frequencies, the compassion frequency, and the divine love frequency for her specific placements down to the line the gate is sitting on. I also built her downloadable gate guides with connected shadow work reflective prompts and an explanation of the way this energy expresses itself in detail. And you'll also receive all of this customized support when you join the elevator. And beyond the customization, there's also an entire video library dedicated to the gates and channels available at any time to enhance your study and understanding of your placements. On floor 2, we'll work through the same process of deconditioning and reflection, but this time we're zooming in on the connection between your north node, your south node, and your moon placements in both your conscious personality and your unconscious design. And then we loop back to helping you understand how they connect to your big 4 placements and your incarnation cross. On floor 3, we're shifting our focus to the connection between your Jupiter and Saturn placements, and again, connecting them back to your nodes and the moon and your big 4 and so on. On floor 4, we're diving into Venus and Mars placements, then looping back to connect these energies to the energies of the rest of the chart we've studied so far, before we move into floor 5, where we'll stop and spend time with our Pluto and Mercury placements. Again, we'll connect everything back together before we move on to floor 6, where we'll dig into our final 2 primary placements, Uranus and Neptune. At this point, you'll know not only the story of your entire chart and how every part and piece connects together to form a larger picture, but you'll also understand your relationship to all of these energies. You'll have uncovered patterns and shed conditioning, and will have created a more intentional relationship to these energies, transforming them from lessons into gifts. Finally, when you leave floor 6, you'll be ready for the rooftop oasis, where we'll explore more advanced topics like chart circuitry, solar and planetary transit astrology, our asteroid placements, chart synastry, and more. While you're working through the floors of the Karmic Studies elevator at your own pace, there are also opportunities to meet in community with others on this journey for group integration sessions. What I love about these sessions is that even though everyone's working on a different placement and has their own personal relationship to that energy, it's so valuable to have a space where we're able to share the insights that we've gleaned and celebrate milestones and breakthroughs and get other folks' takes on a gate or a placement that we're wrestling with. We were all conditioned in community, so it makes so much sense to heal in community as well. Inside the elevator, there's also an opportunity for private one-on-one integration sessions with me along the way. They can be purchased a la carte as needed, or you can choose a pathway to experience the elevator where these sessions are already priced in. There are 4 pathways to join us, and you can choose the one that works best for you. But regardless of the path that you choose to take to experience the Karmic Studies elevator, I know that through making this commitment to yourself, by committing to deep chart study, introspection, reflection, and conditioning work, that we're going to start to be able to experience tangible shifts in our lives with respect to our relationship to ourselves, to the folks in our inner circle, to our communities, to the larger collective, and to the divine.